Hi there, Barnes & Noble Facebook fans. Thank you for all your wonderful questions. We're going to answer 10 of them here today. I hope I'm coherent, so let's get on with it. Well, Denise, I think I would say what a lot of writers would say. I can't do anything else. I'm totally incompetent in all other endeavors. So writing was the only thing I could do. And when I was a kid, I liked scary stories, stories full of wonder, and funny stories. So now I write spooky wonder stories full of humor. You might be trying to put too much information into dialogue. You can use narrative to sell story information. Use dialogue largely for character, to explore the people and how they talk, and that'll probably solve a lot of your problem. I have no relative with autism, but my wife and I for years have worked with charities for people who have severe disabilities of one kind or another, and I realized they were never used in fiction. And so I wanted to use them in fiction where they were defined not by their problems, but were defined by who they were as inner people. And I find the inner person in all of them that I have known to be fascinating and interesting. Dogs are all angels. They chuff just like anything else. It's a positive sound. They don't make negative sounds. Dogs will chuff at you out of affection, and you can chuff right back at them and not offend them. But don't chuff at a 300-pound tattooed biker with a pierced eyeball. He won't know you're being affectionate and he'll beat the crap out of you. There is an Odd Thomas in the works. I will be finishing it sometime this fall for publication in spring of 2012. And there's a wonderful director with a brilliant screenplay of Odd Thomas. And knock on wood, it's Hollywood. Anything could go wrong, but I'm hopeful that Odd will see a good movie sooner than later. Yes, more often than not. I've written several books to the music of Israel Kamakawiwo Ole, who is a great Hawaiian singer, no longer with us. A couple of Paul Simon albums inspired other novels. I've written recently to the Celtic music of singers like Connie Dover, who is the greatest living Celtic singer. From a dog's point of view, I've written parts of books from a dog's point of view, but I don't think I could ever write an entire book from a dog's point of view. It might get a little tired. But if you go back to Dragon Tears, you'll see scenes from a dog's point of view, and I had a great time. I think I was a dog in a previous life. Well, Jennifer, when I delivered Intensity, my editor came back and said, this book moves much too fast. It's too exciting, and it just gets exhausting. So we have to add 200 pages of far less interesting material. I thought that was the worst advice I'd ever been given, and I said, but what kind of material? And the editor said, well, the lead character is a waitress, so do a lot about what life is like as a waitress. I think people will find that very fascinating. I ignored that advice, and the book went on to be #1. Uh, that advice your daughter received is very bad. You will have lots of people all your life, if you're a writer or anything else, telling you you can't do what you're doing or that you're doing the wrong thing. Do what you love, and it'll all turn out just fine. I remember when I wrote this book about a giant white whale, Moby Dick, and it was, oh no, that's somebody else's book. I can remember major characters' names, but when you've created literally thousands of characters, sometimes I could be fooled about what the name of a secondary or minor character was. But characters are the center of a book, so they do stick with you more than the storylines. That I would have a little more trouble remembering in some of the early books. it's good you need your Koontz fix, Michelle, because I need to buy shoes and food. So I need everybody with their Koontz fix. The next book is the fifth and final in the Frankenstein series that comes out in May. And then I have what I'm calling now the Bad House book, because I don't have a title for it yet, that will be out at the end of the year. And then next spring, it'll be the next Odd Thomas.